Okay, so hello everyone. My
Hello.
name is Alex,
And
and
my name is Abrar.
all right, and today on our podcast, we will be talking about this book made by this author called Karen
What is
Ann
it
Duffy.
called? Carol.
Carol Ann
Carol
Duffy.
Ann
Yeah,
Duffy.
that's the correct name. Carol Ann Duffy, and this book is called The World's
Also,
Wife.
before that,
Oh,
we don't really have a mic for both of us to kind of
yes.
talk about.
So this is our setup. As you
Yeah.
can see, we have a siren head dog.
he's not really
And
professional.
he's
but,
he's our mic. So
this guy, you see the small mic right here on top of his head? They would just like put it around him. I hope you can hear us. Try test. Try to get closer and test. Test. Hello. I hope you can hear us. But we're gonna be
well.
this like distance. So yeah.
Yes. So back to the book. Okay, so it's called The World's Wife.
Mhm.
Basically, this book, it's all iterations of myths, but in the eyes of Carol Ann Duffy, and these are all actually written in the form of poems
Mhm.
that, in her eyes, in her way, it's basically like it's written in a way where it can be related to real life problems and like situations.
So you're basically these poems. They're like talking about how basically Duffy is like conveying a message
Yeah.
from these poems there.
Yeah. So
But like in a mythology kind of
yes,
analogy.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So there will be one main mythology we'll be talking about today, and I'm sure most of you know it because I'm not gonna lie. From this book, out of all the myths, this is most likely the popular one. So in this book, you'll find probably myths like Icarus. You'll find Pygmalion, King Midas, Achilles. You've probably heard these names before, but the one we'll be talking about today is Medusa.
Medusa.
Yes, Medusa. I'm sure you've heard about it.
Oh,
Okay.
every time.
All right. You know, it's the woman with the snake hair
Yeah,
and
the
the
snake
girl
hair, yeah.
with the glare that turns people into stone. So basically, for the people watching,
Let's talk about the oh, sorry, that's my sister.
all right.
Let's
so-
talk about the context of Medusa
Yes.
real quick.
Okay. So to start things off, sure, most of you know who she is, but maybe some of you don't know the backstory. So basically, in its most popular iteration, Medusa was a very beautiful woman who was the high priestess of the goddess Athena, who is the Greek goddess of wisdom and war. And basically, what happened in this story is that
Yeah, just like a quick sort of like summary.
yeah, a
of
quick
it,
summary.
A quick
Basically,
summary.
what happened in the story was Poseidon had an affair with Medusa, and in this iteration specifically, Poseidon and Athena are actually rivals. So when Athena finds out that Poseidon is having an affair with her own priestess, she gets really upset and basically curses Medusa into what her most popular appearance is the snake hair, I guess turning her ugly and giving her the glare, the stone glare and the spit that turns people into stone.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's the short summary of what the story is.
So basically, what is it? Poseidon, right? Poseidon
Yeah.
sort of. Poseidon was with Athena,
Yes.
right? But then because Poseidon basically goes out with like all other women
Yes.
and stuff, and then basically raped Medusa.
Yeah, that's considered. That's one of the other iterations, but that one is. I'm pretty sure it's the most popular iteration that Medusa was actually raped by Poseidon, which is very sure. Like
basically like raped and like he left as well, right?
yeah, he left for other women.
And then
which
instead
just
of
shows-
Athena like, what is it, cursing Poseidon, she curses
Medusa.
Medusa.
Because well, could you explain why? Why did she?
The
curse
one I
Poseidon?
know is like Poseidon is basically he's like on top, right? He's like way better than Athena.
Yeah,
And he's like
that's true. He has more power than Athena.
Medusa is more vulnerable than Poseidon in a way.
Yes.
And Athena is really ineffective towards Poseidon, right? Is that
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
So Poseidon cannot be damaged, cannot be affected in a way.
Yeah, by the curse.
Yeah, by the curse.
So basically, what we'll be talking about mostly, since we gave you a brief summary of what Medusa is, we'll just be talking about this, like this specifically from the book The World's Wife by Duffy. We'll talk about this iteration of Medusa, as you can see in the poem, which most of you have probably read. You can see that in this poem there's a lot of like hidden messages and what, like if you have to really analyze it, you'll find these. So basically, like this poem basically describes that it basically, in the situation of real life, it describes like a woman having the fear of losing
The partner.
her partner to, because of the way she looks
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
So
And
basically, kind of like this whole sort of poem
yes,
is conveying this sort of like rage and jealousy type of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because Medusa, like herself. Oh. Wow. We were putting like white light and then suddenly there's like some ad.
yeah.
It says there's no ad before, right? Did
Yeah,
you see
I don't
it?
know
Yeah.
why. All right. Well,
So basically, as I was saying, what is it? Yeah, this whole sort of like poem,
yes.
it's all about rage and jealousy.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Because basically she's, she raged because she got cursed and it's not her fault and stuff.
I mean, who wouldn't
And
be
it's
upset?
also jealousy because of the sort of like imbalance. There's just like one quote from the poem. It says, where is it? It's you I love, perfect man, Greek god, my own. So what does that actually like sort of indicate is that there's this imbalance of appearance between
Poseidon and Medusa.
Poseidon and Medusa. You know,
Yeah.
Poseidon is like his
Considered
looks is like way better than like Medusa, and that's
seen
like
as,
making her kind of
perfect by Medusa.
yeah jealous in a way, and also the girls that Poseidon like hangs out with as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this whole thing is basically about rage and jealousy. So throughout the poem, it's a lot of negative connotations in a way. And yeah, you want to continue with that?
Yes, I'll continue. So
Just like give like a brief sort of summary of like some multiple stanzas of like what happened.
okay, so basically, as said before, this poem describes a situation where a woman is afraid of losing her partner. And in this situation, it's Medusa and Poseidon. But since Medusa was cursed by Athena, it's basically once you go more near the end of the poem, like you go deeper in, although in the start she said, "It's you I love, perfect man, Greek god, my own," you can see that she slowly turns into this person who does not want to be like betrayed. She doesn't want to feel betrayal because she loved Poseidon until she was turned into Medusa, and because of this, like she had a feeling where she felt like so ugly, to the point where like Poseidon, like she had a feeling that Poseidon would just leave her immediately and just go for other women.
Yeah, yeah.
So because of this, it's also said, so better by me if you were stone. She'd rather turn Poseidon into stone than have to go through the grief of losing her partner. So basically,
Yeah.
you want to continue?
Where did you stop?
Till I'll just explain this part. Yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna talk about this part where she like kind of look at herself in the mirror, right?
Yeah.
She really sees herself like an ugly person. Like she gets like uglier and uglier. Oh, Mike is, yeah. She gets like uglier and uglier. It says here, I stared in a mirror. Love gone bad, which is like their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
showed me a Gorgon, which is what is it? The
yeah,
Gorgon one.
the Gorgon are the three snake sisters. It's
Yes, yes,
Medusa and the two others that I'm not gonna lie, I forgot their
I
names.
forgot the names. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And I stared at a dragon. So basically, yeah, she sees herself like this like kind of reptile kind of figure, right?
yeah. She's
Uh,
turned into a snake.
Fire spewed from the mouth of the mon. Honestly, like some of them, like I'm gonna be honest, I cannot understand like a lot of them because of
Yeah.
like basically how the
The writing of
the
Duffy
writing
is
and the
very
grammar,
deep.
yeah, it's very deep and like it's complicated.
Yes.
So we're just trying to understand like the important stuff. Basically here she's just like looking at herself, where she feels like all this sort of inner turmoil,
Yeah.
like inner what is it? Arguments between herself, right? And then at last it says and here you come with a shield for a heart, which means, what does that mean again?
Shield for heart. So I guess you could see this in some ways, but sword for a tongue, right?
Yeah, and like the shield for a heart and also a sword for a tongue.
It could mean something like, like they were in a relationship, and I guess from Medusa's side, she was so in love with him to the point like, oh, she saw him as this perfect man, this perfect god. But in Poseidon's side, he's done this with a lot of women. He's had an affair, a relationship with many women, and since this is from Medusa's point of view, she probably saw it as like a stab in the back, as seen in the sword in the tongue. I guess it could be something like a stab in the back because she didn't believe that, oh, Poseidon would cheat on me, especially because she sees him as this perfect god.
Sure.
And the shield for the heart is like, it shows that Poseidon doesn't actually love Medusa, and actually just goes for a lot of women and has relationships with them, and I guess no consequence of it. So yeah.
Yeah. The backstabbing, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of backstabbing.
Yeah.
It says like your girl, so mentioning.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah, the
like
girl
something
stuff.
of a mentioning like the other girls that Poseidon has has had an affair with.
So it's like he's a playboy, yeah.
Yeah, he's a
He's
playboy.
a playboy. And this one it says, wasn't I beautiful? Wasn't I, what is it, fragrant and young? Look at me now.
Yeah, so it truly shows that before she got turned into Medusa, she was this beautiful priestess of Athena, but now just because of the affair with Poseidon, she's cursed.
Yep.
She's ugly. No offense, but yeah, she's just, her life just became really bad.
Exactly.
And like, if you apply this to a real world situation, it just shows like,
What is it? We have notes here as well.
yeah,
that
we have
can
notes
talk
here
about.
just in case.
Which one are you talking about? The
Like what real life situation does this apply to? Like this
Right.
whole story
this
of
whole story, right?
a woman losing a man, and what does it describe
Let me look at my notes
if
here.
it was a real world situation?
So we have fear of aging and losing beauty.
Yes.
Remember
that
when
is
we
one.
talk about the of like her like becoming like a monster, and she's like kind of worried that she ages a lot and she loses her beauty,
Yeah.
and she's like worried of basically Poseidon going with like other women, right?
Yes.
Here basically, as I said, mentioned before, messing around with her like inner turmoil, which it symbolizes her turning basically old, like aging
Yeah.
to a monster, right?
Yeah.
To Medusa
Because of
itself,
the
to like
curse.
the curse one itself, in her own eyes. I mean, she probably other people won't see
Yeah.
it, but she feels ugly. So
It
it's
could be
basically like a
something-
woman, experiencing
Yeah.
it.
It could be to like the point where, I guess this is just like a perspective. But it could be to the point where the stone, like the spit that turns people to stone, and the glands, it could be like Athena's, or I guess Medusa's way, or not really like way, but it could be just saying like she's so ugly, she sees herself as so ugly to the point where she can't even look at people or look at herself, because if she like looks at people, they turn into stone just because she's so ugly.
It's gonna affect them so much,
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna
Because-
affect them. Like she's so ugly to the point where it turns people into stone.
Yeah,
Which could
but
be, like,
in both
seen
yeah,
as like that.
implicitly and explicitly as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting.
Yeah, it's like this poems like this, where you really have to analyze it. It really gets you thinking, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
So
Is it? I'm gonna check again if it's recording. Yeah, it's still recording.
Okay.
Okay.
yeah,
Continue that. Also talking about the man and the woman sort of
relationship.
societal injustice.
Yeah,
Talking about like their rights and all that, and like how basically Duffy tried to convey this message on the perception of them, like how she views it in a way. So I want to talk about here the devaluation of woman.
yeah.
Remember when
that's
she
a big factor in this
yeah,
poem, actually.
when Poseidon just like threw away.
Yeah, she threw Medusa away once she was like, she turned ugly or
Yeah.
something, like.
He's just like using her, you know.
Yeah, just using her as
Basically
like
just like using
for a
her.
relationship, even though he'll just hop to another woman.
Yeah, just like rape, just like what is it? Rape and dip, right?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
rape
I
and
guess.
leave, bro. Yeah, exactly. And then it says here, over time, men will devaluate after she fulfill men's desires.
Yeah.
So
and Poseidon's desire, I guess, is just
Yeah.
wanting to have an affair. Just
affair.
in this case, is rape.
exactly, wanted to rape and just like
Yeah.
have sex and stuff, right?
And Medusa didn't want that,
Yeah.
specifically in this iteration.
So like when like Medusa kind of no longer meet the requirements or like the criteria of
Yeah,
perhaps like
Poseidon,
what Poseidon thinks about, then she's like
immediately-
thrown away.
Yeah,
you know what I
thrown
mean?
away just because like she's
Yeah.
Poseidon's just not satisfied anymore.
Yeah, that's
I
why the
guess.
Playboy he goes through like
Yeah, that's
Girls.
bad, man.
every time, you know,
Yeah,
every
every time.
second basically. Yeah, it's really bad.
Also, just like, I guess Athena cursing Medusa just really shows that the second she changed what she was considered as this beautiful priestess, Poseidon just said no immediately after raping her, which is just crazy. So yeah,
Damn. I feel bad for Medusa though.
yeah. Although like, no, she's kind of considered as
Like thinking all this,
Evil.
like, what is it? Like connecting to the real world. Like,
Yeah.
like we're not in that situation right now, right? But like,
yeah, but
I feel
it's
like,
a thing that
yeah,
happens. It happens in this
Yeah.
world.
when
which
you
really
think
shows.
about it, it's crazy that it happens.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
especially because this sounds so like insane, but this is a real thing that happens. That's why like this poem, Duffy's poem, like it shows that almost, I guess, all of the poems actually just correlates with real world situations, and this does happen, which is horrible.
Mm.
So, I guess
Real negative, yeah.
yeah. So I guess at the end of the day, it just shows Poseidon's bad. He's a bad guy. Like in
Yeah.
this
A bad
story.
man, basically, yeah.
Yeah, he's a bad man in this story specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Influenced by society and everything.
Yeah. You got anything else to say, bro?
Yeah. I got quite a few more. So talk about the myth of Medusa here. So he was basically like in like the myth, like the mythology sort of story is that Poseidon raped Medusa
Yeah.
in Athena's temple. So
Yeah.
basically where they live, right?
Yeah. And Athena just caught them, and then
Mhm.
Medusa got turned into stone because
Yeah.
Athena
And
can't
this-
curse Poseidon.
Exactly, the curse, right? Poseidon is like unable to be punished.
Yeah.
Unable to be punished. I mean, it's both their fault, right? It's both
Yeah.
their fault for like knowing.
It's only
having
nothing
an affair
Poseidon
and
just
stuff.
because it's rape, That's
Yeah.
horrible.
And so Medusa got cursed, and it's sort of it symbolizes how most of the women are victimized.
Yeah.
Or blamed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even though it's not like their fault, you blame a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, let me change the background music real quick. Where's that? There. Yeah, basically, when talking about during those times, but I forgot like what year. No, but I was thinking, those like the raping and everything in
Yeah.
society, like how women view men, how men view women in a way.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like it still happens until now, right?
Yeah.
It might be
Same.
happening like in the second right now, like someone
Yeah.
raping someone else.
It's horrible, but it's true. It's horrible, but it's true. Like
This stuff
basically
happens, yeah.
situations where, honestly, like we just if you look at these notes, like women, like they just get victimized.
Even though it's not like her fault, basically, Athena
Yeah.
cannot blame the men. Maybe because of maybe because of like
Fear.
the power and the
Yeah.
fear, the power that they
Poseidon.
have
Yeah,
towards
Poseidon.
like men, the Poseidon itself.
Yeah.
We can kind of like relate as well to the
The real world.
the real world,
Yeah.
where
Like
women are just like they view women as like down there,
yeah.
and the men is like
in
up
this
here.
poem, like I guess just in this poem, men or Poseidon men,
Mm.
but they're just basically seen as like you can't really fight back, like because if you do, they might do something
Mm.
really bad, which is just it's not a good thing.
Asserting dominance.
Women can't. Yeah, women can't do. Like in this poem, okay. In this poem, I just need to clear. Women just can't do anything. No, okay, no, hold on. Okay, cut that part out. Cut that part out.
I'm not cutting that part.
No, okay, you know what? No, that's not what I meant. And basically, like in this poem, Medusa just can't do anything. She's powerless in the situation. There.
Woman can do anything.
That's not true. That's not what I meant. Oh my god, but I'm gonna get canceled on Twitter.
Oh,
No, okay, I
God.
mean, what I'm trying to say, Medusa is powerless. But she's not a Greek god or a Greek goddess.
Uh-huh.
And Athena, well, she needs someone to blame because she wants to blame someone, and she needs someone to blame.
Yeah.
And since Poseidon, the man, has the power, not Medusa, Athena is probably afraid.
Mm-hmm.
So she cursed Medusa just for someone to blame,
Yeah,
even though it was Poseidon's fault.
exactly.
So yeah.
You still see like until right now
What?
about like men having like power and stuff.
Yeah.
In a lot of places.
Yeah.
In Indonesia, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of those
Yeah.
like sort of like similar cases as well.
Yeah. That's true.
I think there's just more points there. Which one is it? Wait, which one did I stop? Let me see.
I think it's something here. How
Um,
much minutes has it been?
been 22 minutes.
22? How
Yeah.
are you gonna cut it to 10?
It's okay.
Alright, well,
Yeah,
we
it's
said
okay.
this to Miss B. Miss, I'm so sorry about like some of the things we've said.
No, bro, this-
No,
very,
I didn't
very
mean this.
unfiltered, very
Please
raw.
do not show this to the class. If you show this to the class, I'm gonna get canceled and people will hate me.
Oh, that's so funny.
And please don't deduct points because that's how podcasts are. They just talk like this.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You say whatever you want to talk
just
about.
focus on the
On the important
actual
things.
important things. Not like this. So yeah, thank you, Miss.
Who knows? It's gonna be actually like.
If this gets shown to the class, I'm not gonna walk. I'm not gonna attend school on that day.
That is gonna be funny. Okay, here. What is it? Ooh, yeah, this one. Talking about like the symbol of turning, of like her being able to turn into stone, like in a myth type of way. One point here says, it's, yeah, basically the one that we've talked about, how woman feels about herself, which is, she felt
Really ugly.
more ugly and uglier and uglier. Basically, cannot look at herself, which means like in a myth type of way. She's too ugly that she turns people into stone, right? So that's like saying how horrible her face is, basically.
Yeah.
But this is like all happening in her mind,
Yeah.
Other people
All
cannot
just
see
mind
it. Yeah.
games.
It basically shows this like deep sort of loathing,
Mm-hmm.
which correlates to, which is caused by like how society shaped her. Because she, look at if in a woman, like in a analogy type of way, she looks at all these like perhaps like young women and stuff. Perhaps it's also like beauty standards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in social media.
That's a factor right there.
That's
beauty
also one of the
standards.
things.
It just shows that Poseidon's like Poseidon has a really big beauty factor. Like once Medusa turned ugly, he immediately just left. Even though Medusa viewed him as the guy, as that guy, the perfect guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah, from that, like, you see all these like women basically looking at the standard of like what's like an actual good beauty, right? Um, that I think that like influence a lot of women as well because it can shape like her mindset into thinking, oh, I have to be like this, I have to be like that.
Yeah.
Especially when you're growing, when you're aging, you will think to like, of course, linking back to like her worrying about if her partner will leave her, right? Uh, she thinks like, oh, the young one is like, the young kind of beauty is way better than how am I supposed to get back to that if she can't. All this stuff relating to like appearance, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, all the face.
Okay.
What else here? Oh, talking about the contrast between the woman and her partner. Again, the perfect man, Greek god, as we mentioned before. Poseidon is described here and is seen as the attractive and the powerful man in their relationship and in like just general. Oh, you're tired, are you?
Huh?
You're like yawning.
I just yawned. We're going on for like 30.
Yeah, we're like. What time is it? 9:28. 9:30. So yeah.
Yes.
Which it's just a bit more. We can talk about it a bit more.
Yeah.
So yeah, this sort of imbalance, the one I've talked before, and I want to just add on to that. It made her sort of feel. Oh, is it gonna touch? Oh, thank God. It sort of like made her feel inadequate.
Yeah.
In a way, like not enough because her looks is like really ugly compared to.
Yeah.
You know.
She didn't meet Poseidon's standard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It shows how. This one I don't get it, but we're at the point anyway. It shows how women feel overshadowed, which I think you understand.
Basically, like
overshadowed in a relationship, especially when beauty and age are priorities.
Yeah. So basically, like, put it in this context, like, women feel overshadowed in the relationship. Maybe it's like the woman in the relationship, or I guess Medusa in this case, she doesn't feel like Poseidon's treating her right. And okay, back to what I was saying. I guess women being overshadowed in the relationship, it could mean in this context that Medusa felt overshadowed, as in like, she felt like Poseidon. Well, it's true, but she felt like Poseidon didn't care, especially because he just had he's had affairs with other women. So being overshadowed in the relationship is basically kind of like saying that I guess like the man doesn't really care about the woman. So that could be something they might think that, or Medusa might think that like she's like Poseidon's priority, which should make sense, but Poseidon doesn't put her at his top priority. So yeah, it's just horrible.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. It's pretty horrible. It's like how basically society sort of allows. This is probably a bit subjective, but it says here the one I took notes is that society kind of allows men to age more smoother or like more gracefully.
Yeah, cause
rather than like
beauty standards,
like
man.
Woman, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
because in sort of the woman part, while men ages gracefully, but woman ages with scrutiny, which means like a lot of eyes looking at her, while she's going older and older and older, which kind of pressures her even more. But if it's like men, it's more graceful. I don't know how to explain it in a sort of like a more detailed way, but basically when men ages is a lot easier in a sense of what is it? there's just like term. I'm not sure if it can correlate to this, but it's called SMV,
And what does
which
that
is
stand for?
the sexual market value. Basically, like how the attractiveness of the different like the measurements of like the ratio between like the attractiveness of like men and women.
Oh.
Basically, the men is like
That exists?
there is
Wow.
something like that. There's like men. It can get attracted by a lot of like what is it? The more attractive you are, the more you increase this like SMV, like for men, that's right, and then for women as well. But it's like in this case, if we link it, men basically can increase the SMV like way more, while women have this like kind of limitation, just the scrutiny, that they kind of like they get a lot of eyes and they're observed like thoroughly over time, right? Which creates kind of like the imbalance of how they are valued in their relationship in a way. I don't know if all of that makes sense, right? I don't.
Yeah.
I'm just like yapping.
We've been like, okay, I think we've been dragging it. Like,
Yeah,
we
we're
could have
just
ended it at like a way earlier.
Yeah.
But we're just re-elaborating.
Yeah, we're just like
We
yapping
might-
about whatever, you
Yeah,
know.
I might edit this out. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who
We
knows?
might
Who
edit
knows?
or not.
Well, Miss B, is that it?
Is that it? Yeah.
All right.
And then
Well,
the battery's almost gonna die, so we gotta end it.
okay. Well,
I think this is it for today.
for those, yeah, this is it for today. For those who have made it to this part after all that yapping, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Miss B, please ignore the very dumb parts of
Do
this
not ignore
podcast.
it.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Thank you for
That's it,
watching.
sir. Thank you for watching, people.
thank you. Okay, I can't believe I
Subscribe.
did that.
Subscribe.
There,
You just said, I can't
Not-
believe I did that.
not subscribe. You should. Yeah. Follow Abrar and me on Instagram because we don't have YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll cut this part out anyways.
Goodbye.
So, goodbye.
See you guys later. Ta-da.
Goodbye. I forgot we're still recording.